One two one two one two one two one two one two. We are in the building. You know what day it is. What day is it?
Oh man, it must be Tuesday.
And we got the icon in the building. MC WINDWALKER
There you
gracing us with
go.
his presence. And of course, he said, of course, now he got to go to a grand opening of another store. Of course, he does. He's an icon now.
Of
This is
course,
what he
he
do.
got to
This is
travel.
this is what he do. You know what I
Exactly.
mean?
He's a busy man.
What's good with you, Playboy? What's happening?
Hey, first of all, I just want to give honor to God. Down in sports talk to my brother Arm Des and my sister from another mother, Yada Bear, in the building. You know, we keep it correct up in there. I want to give a shout out to Perry Publishing and Broadcasting and all the rest of the peoples for this. Can you see it? Can you see it? It's the 2024 Hip Hop Music Icon Award. And I just want to thank everybody, everyone. Hey, I've been doing this a long time, and I appreciate it for real. I really appreciate it. Really. Thank you very much.
All right, we back in the building.
There you
Down
go.
in Sports Talk. The icon is in the building.
The
Yada
icon is
Bear is in the
spoken.
house. She may or may not have an announcement towards the end of the show. She may or may not have an announcement towards the end of the show.
Wow.
See, I feel like I got icons up in here. I got, people just getting big bread up in here. You know what I'm saying? And I just feel like, I'm the low man on the totem pole. You know what I mean? But again, it is what it is, man. It's great, man. Salute to you, bro. Man, it's a long time coming. Y'all bear, you already know the vibes.
Yeah.
We are in the building down in Sports Talk, man, having some fun with the summertime vibes is in the building. Definitely a lot to talk about. But we're gonna jump right into it and do a backflip like Tank after the eighth round. Let's get it cracking from the door. Saturday night, Tank Davis did what Tank Davis does, as advertised. You know what I'm saying? He even put the number out there, and he did some old Ali stuff, and came across and made his thing come true. So salute to him for that. But I definitely want to get Yada Bear and Windwalker's perspective on Tank, how he looked, what you think might be next, and what do you think David Benavidez to do after his showing on Saturday night?
Yeah. Oh man. Tank Tank did what he said he was gonna do. He told Frank. He told him during like every like during the press conference. He told him against. He told him during all of their little media outlet. He let him know that listen, I'm sorry. What I'm about to do to you. He apologized to him. Before the fight, like, listen, I'm sorry, but you're the man that's standing across me in that ring, and I gotta make a point to let people know that I'm still Tank Davis. He been locked up, out of sight, out of mind. Everybody wanna throw Devin Haney above him and Shakur Stevenson above him. Even they try to talk up Ryan Garcia, and I feel like now that Tank is out, he had to show him like, well, what did you think I was doing all that time I was away? I was training. I got nothing to do but to train, and I've been training and waiting for his turn, and he came out there. Frank Martin came out a little strong in the first two rounds, but anybody who knows Tank Davis and been watching Tank for years know that he always starts off slow. He doesn't rep it up until about like mid fourth, beginning of the fifth round. And after the fifth round, it starts to become not if, but when is he going to knock his opponent out. Frank lasted 8 rounds. Hey, he can say, hey, I lasted 8 rounds with Tank. Ryan Garcia can't say that. Riley Romero couldn't say that. So he had a okay showing. You know, he was trying to get some punches in early, but that all went out the window after the fifth round. Um, Frank was definitely outmatched, outboxed. Um, it looked like a good fight on his resume to say, yeah, I fought Tank Davis, but it wasn't really a good fight for him. He wasn't ready for that type of boxer. You know, um, there's levels to get to before you get to Tank. You know, there's other guys that he should have fought before he got the Tank to try to rev up to get there. Just going to just going for the top, it doesn't help at all. You know, it definitely hurts you at the end. This kind of like really put him further back behind the line of the guys, of the Lomachenko, Shakur Stevenson, Isaac Cruz, guys like that. This now puts Frank way back there now because I
Yeah.
think the fight was too soon. It kind of remind me like when Canelo fought Floyd, you know, and Floyd destroyed him. Was like, it was too early. It was a young Canelo, but a Canelo where he at now versus Floyd in his prime, that could have been a different type of fight. We could be having a different conversation. Um, but hey, my man Tank did what he said he was going to do. I'm just looking to see who his next opponent is going to be. Um, Ryan Garcia was talking about, he's a pick me type of guy, pick me, like we already saw you, you know. Um, People throwing Shakur Stevenson name back out there. I'm not too sure because the last time we saw Shakur in the ring, he didn't look too good, and the way that he looked, I feel like this would be a early exit. Tank might knock this guy out in fifth or sixth round. The way he looked the last time. You could say Lomachenko. I feel like that would be a pretty decent fight. The real fight is going to be, Devin Haney because he won those belts. And then I also heard some rumblings of Isaac Cruz coming in, trying to throw his 2 cents in. But I'm like, Tank already fought you too. Like, I'm tired of seeing repeat matches. When there's a fight out there that should be happening, we need to make it happen. Tank versus Devin for the belt should be happening. Just like David Benavidez versus Canelo should be happening. There's only one fight for those two guys. David went out there, did his thing on Saturday, and I'm looking at him in the ring. I'm like, you shouldn't even be fighting this fight. You on an undercard. Like you are too talented of a fighter to be on someone's undercard. You should be main eventing, your own pay per view, and the only fight is out there is Canelo. And I was telling Left behind the scenes, I'm like, that's $100 fight right there. You can easily get $100 off of that, or off of those two guys' names. Just like I think you can probably get $100 off of Tank and Devin. I just need these guys. I just need people who are next up in line to fight each other and stop hiding behind contracts, promotion, and the money, because that's all. It always comes back down to the money. Who's going to get the biggest split? You know, and I need old school boxing though. You're number one. I'm the champ. Let's fight. Plain and simple. But how do you like the match? How you like the fight?
Okay, quick 2 words, and I gotta go open a new store.
Gotcha.
I'm doing a ribbon cutting. Uh, I didn't like that. Like you said, Garcia jumped up there after the fight, all on Tank's nuts with the
Yeah.
T-shirt on. Fight me. Turned around backwards and let the people see.
Yeah.
Fight me and all this. Like you said, pick me, pick me. He even had a
Mhm.
shirt made. Come on, that's so corny. That's
Yeah.
corny. It's all that. But here's the other takeaway. I've been hearing crickets from the Charlo brothers.
Oh my God.
Crickets.
Man, you're killing me, man.
It's crickets. I'm not even gonna bring them up. But who's at the top is supposed to be at the top. Like you said, that fight really pushed you real back, far further back in the rankings. Let's get somebody that can take Tank 12 rounds, even 10. If you want a 10-round fight or a 12-round fight, let's see somebody that can last. Like you said, he heats up in that 4th, 5th, and 6th round. That's when he heats up. He started out rusty.
Yeah.
After that, he's back to his old self.
Hey, yo, check this out.
Okay.
My bad. Go ahead. I mean to cut you off. Wasn't finished. Go ahead.
I'm saying somebody gonna study that, and they gonna chill until that and bring it on in that 4th, 5th, and 6th round, like he do. You know, you got to preserve yourself. You got to learn how to bob and weave and get out the way, not expend so much energy. Then in them later rounds, you could actually battle with this man. My thoughts. And I just want to say I love y'all. Thank y'all for all y'all's blessings and everything y'all done said about me and everything. But I got to go open this store. I'll see y'all on the next side. Down in sports. Peace.
Peace. Windwalker.
All right, peace. Icon.
Out. Icon is out. The icon has left the building. Listen, check this out. Tank is going to be the dude that everybody's chasing to either make a name, make some money, or make a point. Ryan Garcia is a non-factor. The Charlotte brothers are non-factors, right? To me, Isaac Cruz should be ahead of those guys just on the strength. Ryan Garcia couldn't even finish the fight, right?
Yeah.
And the Charlo brothers getting smacked up by Caleb Plant.
Okay, in the background.
So for me, the Charlo brothers, they don't really even factor into this. Like Ryan Garcia don't factor. You got Devin Haney, who's a factor because he got beat by somebody who was on the juice.
Definitely,
okay?
Yeah.
You got Shakur Stevenson, even though some people, I ain't gonna say no names, are like, yo, his last fight was whack, but his last fight was whack. I get it. But like you said earlier, I think, Browski, you said, what was he doing while he was away? What do you think what do people think he was doing while he was away? Yeah. He was working. So for me, I'm still where I was always at with Shakur Stevenson. He got to prove the point. We seen Tank in action. We seen Devin Haney in action. You know what I mean? We even see Lomachenko in action against Devin Haney. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So Shakur, I think he fights July 6th at the Prudential.
I think so.
I mean, Shakur is in the Matrix. If he goes in here and knocks this dude out in the first or second round, he's back or whatever, but he didn't get no work. He still ain't getting no work.
Yeah, I need some work.
I need him to go. He don't even got to go the distance. Just show he can, get some, build the sweat up, get some work, look good, build up points. You know what I mean? And then do what you got to do in the later rounds, but build up some work. We say, well, okay, he fought 6 or 7 rounds and the guy got this dude out of here. He put some work in. Tank is doing everything that he needs to do to put everybody on his resume, right? Tank is with a 93% knockout percentage. 93. He's 30-0 with what, 28 knockouts. Mm-hmm. That's crazy. And then the way he does it. And then here's the point for me, right? It's the other dudes. When they talk greasy, Ryan Garcia talk wild greasy. Frank Martin talk wild greasy. Like, these dudes be talking greasy, and then, they got to humble themselves. It's crazy to me how, a dude like Frank Martin, and he gave a good showing.
Yeah.
Because I even said on my Twitter, he was winning the fight. The first couple of rounds, Martin was doing his thing simply because he was getting his punch off. He was getting off.
Yeah.
And Tank had his guards up or whatever. And I'm like, okay, Tank is figuring him out. and remember we talked about it earlier, Browski. I talked about how Frank Martin was moving forward. He had take back it off on the back foot, back it up. Then when that stopped, that's when the momentum of the fight stopped, changed. You know what I mean? And then Frank Martin caught the ooh-wop, and he went to sleep like Leo Santa Cruz. You know what I'm saying? Or like Rolly Romero.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or like Ryan Garcia when he went out on one knee. And so, did you hear Ryan Garcia say something about Jordan? Jordan didn't do nothing for the people. And Jordan didn't. He don't mess with Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
This dude is a cheater.
Yeah.
This dude can't. He talks a lot. He's not concerned. Like we talked about before on Down in Sportstalk. We talked about Ryan Garcia and how he puts the social media aspect of his career ahead of his boxing career. He just wants the likes and the clicks, right? He wants to be seen. I'm not mad at that. That's how you get down. That's how you get down. But you know what happens when you live like that? You end up in front of millions of people on one knee with blood coming out your nose, talk about you can't do no more.
Yeah. No,
right? That's how you end up.
That's 100% true.
Straight like that. That's how you end up, right? So to me, at the end of the day, Tank is proving his point. He don't really have to say much. He ain't got to do much, like you said. Put the next dude in front of him, and we'll see what it is. The big fight, you know what I mean? To me, would either be right now would be Tank and Shakur Stevenson. Okay, when is it going to pop off? I don't know. I would like to see Tank fight Lomachenko.
I would like to see Tank fight Lomachenko.
I would like to see Tank fight Lomachenko.
I think I would like to see him fight Lomachenko more than Shakur. Because I feel like him and Lomachenko are more of an even ground. Right. And I think that fight will be a fight that will go the distance. And, I mean, when the last time we seen Tank fight in double digits rounds?
Right.
When the last time we seen Tank going like to the 10th round
and getting worked? I mean, and nothing against it. And that's all you want to see, like the homie said. You know what I mean? Like the trainer said, yo, we want to see if you could push those buttons.
Yeah.
That's all. He want to see if you can push those buttons on Tank and get down and get grimy with him. So I think Tank, his thing is how he talks about how he's been boxing and fighting since he was 7 years old. He's been in the game a long time. He's got a lot of experience. And I think that was the thing in the lead up to the Martin fight was that, I've been doing this thing. You're brand new to the game pretty much. You don't got no experience. And it showed, right?
Yeah, it definitely showed. But I also think that Tank came out there to make a point. And he made his statement loud and clear that I'm still the same dude I was before I went in. Matter of fact, he kind of looked a little bit better.
He was definitely cut. But my point was, I was going to say was that Lomachenko's got experience too.
Oh yeah. That's
you know what I mean.
Yeah, that's why I think, to me, I would rather see that fight more than Shakur.
You think Tank gonna be all up in Lomachenko's face like you be doing that?
Nah,
I don't think so either.
And you know what? And you know what else?
It's gonna be a whole different thing.
Yeah, I think if Tank and Lomachenko fight, I think you'll see a different side of Tank because Lomachenko is such a professional, and like I said, he has the experience. I think Tank will kind of tone it down at the press conference and maybe more professional. Like he'll probably still talk his shit on Twitter.
Yeah, you gotta sell the fight,
I think in the face to face, like those press conferences and those media meetups, I feel like it may be a little bit toned down. And he don't have to, and they don't have to do a lot to hype up the fight because the name alone, they pedigree alone will make people want to tune into this fight because it's like, I want to see if Tank can knock out Lomachenko. When the last time we seen Lomachenko get knocked out? Yeah,
I mean,
or can Lomachenko be the one to put Tank down?
I think that'll be a strategic fight. If you get Lomachenko and Tank in front of each other, I think again, this is the fight where Tank. What do we talk about when we talk about Tank in this fight? What do we talk about? What does Tank do every fight that he cannot afford to do?
Start off slow.
Thank you. So when you're fighting Lomachenko and you're looking and you're the Lomachenko's, I will see he's working you out. You know what I'm saying? So you're gonna have to, engage. I'm not saying that he doesn't engage, but like you said, he's studying his opposition and all of that, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, if Lomachenko's building up points, and then he's skillful enough to kind of like once you get into that 5th and 6th round, he's still there.
Yeah, he's still
there.
Like,
you know what
I
I'm saying?
feel like that's a fight that could possibly go all 12 rounds.
I ain't paying $100 for it though.
That's a fight that we'll need to see again. It had to be an immediate rematch.
Right.
After, we can't, wait around like, oh, I'm gonna fight this guy and then maybe I'll get back to Lomachenko. It's like, no, I need an immediate rematch of whoever wins, that match. Like if Tank win, all right, then we need a rematch. And Lomo win, I need a rematch. Like you can't fight nobody else until you fight them again.
So where does that leave guys like I hate even saying this dude's name. Where does that leave guys like Rolly Romero?
Back of the line.
And Cobb, the guy Blair Cobb. Where does that leave those owner?
The back of the line. The back of the line, because they're not as skilled as these two boxers. Like
okay. So where does that leave Shakur and Devin Haney?
Behind them.
Okay, I got you.
Trying to figure out their next steps, because I feel like Lomachenko and Tank are the best in that weight class. Like I feel like they are the best in that division. And just because Devin has the belts doesn't make him the best.
That's true.
He just
got the belts.
He just got the belts right now.
Possession is 9/10 of the law.
Facts. He's just holding it. Look, he's just holding it for one of those two guys. Okay,
he keeping them warm. He giving them an address. So when he put on,
shout out HID. Yeah, but like I just want to I feel like he's just holding it for one of those guys.
Right.
And it has to happen soon. Like I said, I just want the era of boxing where people are fighting each other.
Right.
Year 2 or year 3. Let's fight to see who's going to be the next, the number one contender.
Absolutely.
Devin has the belts. Well, I don't know if Tank is the number one contender, then that's the next fight. I'm just tired of, we gotta see what promotion this guy is signed up with.
Right. PVC and all these other guys, that's what's messing the game up. So if you want to know, the casual fan wants to know why these fighters fight maybe once a year, or you know what I mean, it's because of it's the promoters and the networks who don't like each other to begin with, and now they gotta make peace with each other to make these fights. We're gonna move on. We got to show some love to the world champion Boston Celtics. They finished their mission and they won their championship against the Dallas Mavericks.
Yeah.
I mean, we picked Dallas, over here. We had Dallas and they, I'm not going to say they didn't show up. They just got beat. And it happens.
Yeah. It definitely happened. They definitely got beat. I feel like the others on the Mavericks didn't show up. And I think that Joe Mazzulla actually showed me some things this series. He didn't get out coached. Last year, the last time it was in the finals.
It's hard to get out. It's hard to get out coach when you up 3-0.
No, I mean that's a fact.
I'm messing with you.
But my thing, the lights wasn't too bright like it was when they played the Warriors.
Right, that's right.
The Porzingis move was huge for Boston. Um,
So put some respect on Brad Stevens' name. Mm-hmm.
got to, sometimes transitioning from the sideline to the front office, sometimes it doesn't, shape up too well for certain
Michael
coaches.
Jordan.
Phil
Michael Jordan.
Jackson,
Michael Jordan.
you know,
Okay.
I guess Michael Jordan,
Yeah.
Phil Jackson, Magic Johnson.
Send your emails to.
Hey, I'm just being honest. Magic.
Right.
Larry
Yeah,
Bird.
Magic. I mean, did
He,
Larry
he,
Bird was Larry Bird the coach when they was in the finals when they played the
he
Lakers?
did coach, and then he went to the front office. I think he coached like 1 or 2 years. But they,
It was either Larry Bird or Nate McMillan was their coach, was the Indiana Pacers coach when they played when Shaq and them beat them in the finals. When Reggie Miller and them. I forgot who their coach was. I need to look that up. But
I think it might have been Nate.
I'm just thinking at the Boston Celtics, man. We talked about this earlier, Broski. I was thinking about it. I said, yo, the people had the Boston Celtics pinned, as world championship material for a few years now. Right? Back to the Marcus Smart when they had the big three and they was putting it together. They should have been doing this, they're doing that. They had Kyrie Irving when he was burning the sage in the garden and all of that. Things work out, some things don't. They ended up getting, Kristaps Porzingis, his story. You know what I mean? They shipped Marcus Smart off. All right, so you gave, Jaylen Brown money. Jason Tatum is the alleged star of the team. I think that they got their championship now. They worked at it. I agree with Jaylen Brown being the MVP. From my perspective, I agree with Jaylen Brown being the. What you think about that, Browski?
I totally agree. I feel like Jaylen Brown was the best player for the Celtics the whole playoffs, the whole postseason. I know people making a big fuss saying, "Oh, well, Jason Tatum led the team in points, rebounds, assists. It's crazy and get MVP." But my thing is, Jaylen Brown. He plays both sides of the court. Not only is he putting up 25 plus, but he's also guarding like one of the toughest players, out there, like on the wing. Um, I just feel I feel like Jalen seems more of a team leader on the court versus Jason. And also, you also gotta remember that they also brought in um, Drew Holiday, who had championship experience, who is a vet.
Mm-hmm.
You know, um, it's crazy that first year in Boston win championship. When he first got traded to Milwaukee, first year there, they won the championship.
Mm-hmm.
Is because he brought in that veteran presence and
Absolutely.
that leadership, and
Mm-hmm.
you can see it played out. There in Boston. I know we mentioned like Marcus Smart and all those guys before, but I just don't think that they was the ones to get that championship. And I think having Porzingis there, they haven't really had consistent scoring from the center position, in years. You have plug and play guys like Robert Williams who always getting hurt, and then you have Al Horford who one day can be hot, the next day be ice cold,
Mm-hmm.
and he's up there in age. So to have someone this season that consistently was able to give them points at that position, um, really helped out a lot.
Right.
And this breaks the tie, right? This breaks the
Yep.
tie between them
With
and
the Lakers.
and the Lakers. So they got 18. So does that make them the
And you know what?
most dominant
I'm
franchise in NBA history?
gonna say this. Yep, it does at this juncture because um I think that the Lakers got 16 and a half. So I
Okay.
that's just me. And my point, Browski, you can choose to agree or not, and it's fine. This championship that the Boston Celtics got is going to be heralded more than the Lakers bubble championship, and that's my whole point. Like the Lakers won in the bubble, so what? Who cares, right? And that was a different circumstance. The Celtics, they won their championship on their home court in front of their fans. Denver Nuggets, they won their championship on their home court in front of their fans. Like it's a different thing. I was watching the game, Browski. I was watching the game from 2020. It was like the Chiefs and the Bills or something.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody was in the stands. Remember?
Yeah,
it's a whole different thing. It's like I'm sitting there watching the game, and the announcers are going crazy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But the stands is empty. They had the tarp over the stands. Remember? They had the tarp over the stands, and I'm like the whole vibe. And what was missing from those pandemic and COVID time games was the fans. They make the game.
Yeah. No,
absolutely, no doubt about it. Absolutely.
But
so go ahead.
But to piggyback off that, what you were saying, like between like the Lakers and their pandemic championship, like a lot of people, may want to put a little asterisk by it because it was a pandemic. But I mean, when we talk about this championship with Boston, who they played to get to the finals? The whole East was hurt.
That's not their fault.
But it wasn't the Lakers' fault that it was a pandemic, and everything got shut down.
It really wasn't. If you gonna put it like that, I guess you know what I mean. But
they just played who was in front of them, and the team that was in front of them was a hot Denver Nuggets team. They had to get past a super because you can't front. That Nuggets team, 2020 Nuggets team, was like Jamal Murray, like really true breakout year before he got hurt, and Joker, they was balling. He won the MVP that year, and that year it was well deserved. He was balling. But when you look at this championship with Boston and how they got there, it's like, all right, when we look at the East, Joel Embiid was hurt.
Oh my goodness!
Listen, I'm just going to put Joel.
Go ahead.
Joel Embiid was hurt for majority of the second half of the season. So was the Milwaukee Bucks. Giannis
and so was the Knicks. And so was the Knicks. I
didn't get to that yet. I'm going down the line. The Bucks, Giannis, Dame, Chris Middleton, all them guys got hurt. And then, we get to the Knicks.
Go ahead.
The Knicks fell apart. You had no Julius Randle. You had OG Anunoby playing
with Mitchell Robinson.
With like bone fragments in his elbow. Had to get surgery to get it done. No Mitchell Robinson, and then during the playoffs, a crucial time, your best player breaks his hand, and then and then you look at the next round, you got the Pacers, the same thing. Their best player, Tyrese Haliburton, goes down, and then you look at the Cavs. Donovan Mitchell didn't even play in Game 4. In the first round. So it's like they had an easier path. So people can say, well, they won it because of injuries. Just like when people like to make the argument about the Toronto versus the Warriors, that Toronto only won the chip because everybody on the Warriors was hurt. Because they had no KD.
You know what I say to that?
Went down,
and they say the same thing about when Kevin Love and Kyrie was hurt when
exactly. Yes.
But you know what I say to that? So what?
But I'm just saying, you can't
that's
say.
how it go, yo.
But then but left, you can't say that the Lakers championship meant less than this Celtics championship.
It do. And it
But the way
does.
that you word it, you always gotta say the 2020, the pandemic title, the
It
bubble
is.
title.
Because
Why
that's the only
can't
way
you
you
just call
remember
it
it.
the regular NBA title? Because guess what? They was in a crazy situation and they
Absolutely.
and, and, and,
Just
and
like
they
just
and they
like the
just got
lockout. Just
over.
like the lockout when the Rockets beat the Knicks. You know what I mean? That was a lockout season. So I get it. But to me, in my opinion, because I don't mess with LeBron like that.
See,
I'm not even
it's
giving
a
that no credence.
personal vendetta.
Look at this. I'm not even giving them no credence like that. But we're gonna move on from that. Salute to the world champion Boston Celtics. They did
Yeah,
their thing. Salute to Joe Mazzulla.
yes, youngest
And
head
salute to
coach,
Brad Stevens, the front office. Al Horford finally got his joint. You know what I mean?
first
And
Dominican player to win the NBA
yeah,
title. Joe
salute,
Mazzulla,
absolutely,
the youngest coach to win the title. So
absolutely. Ime, that could have been you.
yeah, it could have definitely been
Ime
Ime.
Udoka, that could have been you,
You know
homie.
what's so crazy?
Uh-huh.
Could have had two.
Yeah,
Because
well,
I think it would have been a difference with Ime on the sidelines against the Warriors than Joe. That's all I
hey,
got to
well,
say.
you know how that story ended. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Shout out to Nia Long. Listen, man, we in the building down in Sports Talk, man. It's the troublemaker over there, aka Yada Bear in the house. I am left-handed, aka RM Desk. Find me on Twitter, otherwise known as that. We in the house, man. It's Tuesday night doing what we do. We're gonna talk about Yada Bear's favorite topic, you know, her favorite topic.
Oh God.
We're gonna talk about Yada Bear's favorite topic. Now, her squad is the Phillies. What's going on with them? It's June. This is the month for Schwab. What's popping with the Phillies?
Well, right now we in the battle with the Padres. Right now we're down 3-1, top of the seventh. But you know, we came off. We lost two series back to back from the American League. Um, which to me, if I want to lose a series, I'd rather lose to the AL
You having
because I need it.
some fly
I
excuses,
need to
though.
keep my foot on these Atlanta Braves necks. I need
This
to
one
keep
over
our
here.
foot
You having some wild
on.
excuses.
Excuse me, we're talking about the best team in the NL. That we got to keep our foot on those
Here we
Dodgers
go. Here
necks.
we go. Mm-hmm.
RIP to Mookie Betts' hand. Oh,
Send your emails over there. Send the emails over
people
Dodger
start
fans. Send
getting
the emails
hurt
over
on
there.
one side, and then we start getting healthier. We had Trey Turner return last night. He returned. He had about 2 hits yesterday.
Yeah, it was 2 for 5.
For his first game back. That's good to see. We're still working with our JT. JT had a little minor
Baseball.
knee
Baseball.
procedure.
Yankees
People hating
baseball.
because they don't have a catcher like JT who had one
Oh
of
my
the
goodness.
fastest pop up times. Nobody steals on JT like that. But we
Yeah,
still doing
man.
our thing. 48 wins. Again,
How many wins? How many is that?
yeah, we got 48 wins.
Oh, not enough.
I'm extremely
Not enough.
impressed
Not
with the
enough.
48 wins because in the past, as we have seen these past couple of seasons, the Phillies have started off real slow. We generally start to rev up around this time in June because we all know that June is Kyle Schwarber's season where he just starts hitting monster home runs out of nowhere. It's like his bat knows when it's June. Yesterday he had a two home runs. He had a 2 home run game a series ago down in Baltimore. So 48 wins in June. I'm happy about that. We got an 8-game lead against Atlanta. I'm happy about that. This year I can look forward to us possibly most likely winning the NL East instead of having a
I agree with
wild
that.
card spot.
I agree with that.
I'm happy with that. I'm happy with us not looking up, but just looking forward and watching everybody else look up to us in the NL. But enough about my fantastic
Yankees
Phillies.
baseball.
I'm gonna let you go ahead and talk about
Yankees baseball.
Yankees.
Yankees baseball.
Like,
look,
mind you, in the beginning of the season, people was about to jump off the Brooklyn Bridge and commit all types of suicide because
I don't know what you're talking about. But
I'm just
listen. All I know is that the Yankees been in first place since May 14th, right? Big series against the Baltimore Orioles because when you play within your division, I think you only play your division 13 times. So these games are important. The Yankees and the Orioles doing their thing. The Orioles gave it to the Yankees up in Baltimore recently. So this is a big series. They're a game and a half in front of Baltimore right now. So they need these games as well do the Orioles. I just like what I'm seeing right now. Garrett Cole is on his way back. They've been saying that for a minute now. You know what I mean? I just need us to go into the All-Star break. I'm on all cylinders popping. Aaron Judge got hit by a pitch. He left the game tonight. So we'll see what's up with that. And we just have to, maintain our balance and do what it do to keep our lead at American League East and keep popping, man, as far as the season is concerned. I like where we stand right now. I like where we stand. Yeah. Best record in baseball. Let me clear my throat like DJ. Let me clear my throats. The best record in baseball, the New York Yankees. Absolutely. I just feel like a lot of guys are contributing. Again, I've said it the last few weeks on the show that the lineup is working. They're doing what they're supposed to do. So again, I can't be mad at that. Everybody's contributing. DJ LeMahieu, he's back. And he's batting ninth. Remember when DJ LeMahieu used to lead off? Yeah. Now DJ LeMahieu is batting ninth. My only, worry right now would kind of be like, Gleyber Torres. We got to get him back right. You know what I mean? Anthony Rizzo was out for 4 to 6 weeks. He broke his wrist. This dude is the most.
But listen. At least it happened early, and we got the All-Star break coming up soon. So 6 weeks. That's what, like maybe 4 weeks. Then the All-Star break, and then maybe a week after that.
Maybe what? End of July? Start of August?
Yeah.
So okay. All right, I'll buy that. But my point was, this dude always being hurt. Always. Last year, something happened to him. He had a headache. He had a collision with somebody at first base, I think. And he had a headache for the rest of the year. Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and then this year, man, it was another collision at first base.
It's like
what's up with this?
First base.
And guess what position Anthony Rizzo plays? You'll never guess.
First base. I don't know. First base.
First base. Like this to me, he's like Bad Luck Barry. I don't know if you ever heard that record. It was an old record by UTFO called Bad Luck Barry. All the bad luck stuff in the world can happen, happens to this dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All we need him to do is be a defensive presence at first base and provide a little bit of hit. Because you don't really, and the only reason you provide a little bit of hit is because you're left-handed.
Yeah.
And the porch is right there. You was killing it in Wrigley Field. So why you can't kill it at that short porch? Because you always hurt.
Well,
Come on, Bobby, let's go.
You know how some people just have the injury, but like
he got the whole plantation or whatever you want to call it. He just got the bug. He got the whole thing.
I mean, well, look at a guy like Mike Trout. They just said that he's way behind in rehab.
Mike Trout not the face of the.
But I'm just saying he's another guy that always injured.
Always, all the time. He's injured right now.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. You know what I mean?
But that's what I'm saying. Like he's injured right now. They're saying that he's way behind on rehab.
That's sad,
and he's always a name that comes up during the trade. Why would I trade for a guy
Why would I trade for that?
that's always hurt? And it's like, oh, but when he's healthy, he's amazing. Yeah, he is. But when is he ever healthy? When is he ever available? He's not. And I feel like the Angels will never get better until he's off the team. And that's sad to say, but I feel like he gotta go. Now, can I ask you a question about a team that we had talked about in the past that we was a little iffy about? The Seattle Mariners. Seattle. Are they for real, or is just the rest of that division is just bad? Houston. Everybody's hurt on Houston. Houston's having a terrible year. Texas look like they are pretenders from last year. Like, is it the division that's bad, or is Seattle legit this year?
A little bit of both. I think when you talk about the Seattle Mariners, they're a team that you have to take the wait and see approach. When August and September roll around, if they're still hot, then we can talk about them in realistic terms. Not to say that you can't right now, but what were we talking about last week? We talked about underrated and overrated. Julio Rodriguez, right? I think one of the most overrated dudes. But right now, for him, and the Mariners, I think they won 16 out of their last 21 games. I think he has to take control, a foothold, and put his name, say, hey, this is me, this is my squad, we're going to do our thing. Now, I'm not going to say that the Mariners are going to run through the AL West, because, again, Broski, as we already know, it's early. But they're doing good. They got an 8.5 game lead, right? Right? Yada? 8.5 game lead?
Yeah. It's 9. Actually, it's
9. Okay, so I mean,
over Houston.
And again, look who they got in the division. They got the defending world champion Texas Rangers in the division, along with making hay with the Las Vegas / Oakland A's. You know what I mean? If they can keep it going, I don't see why the Seattle Mariners can't be a present, because they got the talent to do it. They got a young team. They got a superstar player, in Julio Rodriguez, and make it happen. You know what I mean? Again. Will we be talking about the Seattle Mariners like this in September? I don't know, because remember last year they fell off at the end.
They fell off right off that cliff at the end.
Yeah, they fell off hard body. So again, when you talk about a team like the Texas Rangers, who really just kind of like, I don't know, man, they're world championship. I think they're gonna go back into the doldrums, man. First of all, they signed all those dudes that got hurt, Jacob deGroms and Scherzers and all these guys, and they don't have no way to put them, and they don't have no production out of them because they're hurt. But I think that when you talk about the Seattle Mariners, we just got to see. I mean, they talk about, they swept the Texas Rangers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So again, the Houston Astros, we were talking about them. They were world champions recently. So, why can't they do it? But we'll see. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that reminds me of a team that we talked about when we were doing the previews. And I said would really show up in the American League Central this year with the Kansas City Royals.
Yeah.
And I thought they was gonna make a fool out of me, but so far, I mean, they're doing their numbers, man.
I mean, so far so good. Royals. They're only five games behind Cleveland. So, Cleveland has been the shining star for the past couple of seasons of that division.
Right, absolutely.
And then when you look at it, you have mentioned, Kansas City, but I have also mentioned Minnesota, and Minnesota's right there along with them.
You know what? When you talk about the Minnesota Twins, I don't worry about them because they can't beat the Yankees. And Minnesota is going to be a dogfight. When you talk about dogfights, and this is the time of the year where we get, as baseball fans, you know what I mean, we get kind of hyped and charged because these are the dog days, July, August. You know what I mean? We get ready to get into it. And now we're going to see who's for real.
Yeah.
And you know what makes it very interesting? And we're baseball fans. We can talk about this all day. You know what I mean? The wild cards, Bowski. That's
Yeah.
what that's what's we're building up to we're building up to something here. You know what I mean? You see the teams that's in contention, the Kansas City Royals, right? Your Mariners, right? You know what I mean? Your Baltimore Orioles, your Yankees, and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And they still can keep in the race because of the wild card. So again, we'll revisit this real soon, and we'll see. Because again, I picked the Kansas City Royals to win that division.
Yeah. And I'm not mad at that because you know they've been playing some pretty solid baseball in
Yep.
Kansas City.
Yep.
And
Getting some pitching. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, and I'm happy to see that because when the last time the Royals was good? Yeah, exactly. What, like what, 80?
Nah. They was in the World Series. They was in the World Series recently.
What was that? And
Didn't the Royals play? Didn't the Royals play the Mets in the World Series? That was that was like maybe about 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago. The Royals. You know how I remember? Because that's when I talked to Stephen A. Smith on
yeah.
The Royals played the Mets in the World Series. Listen, see, down in Sports Talk, myself and my co-D YADABEAR, we kind of like to know what we're talking about in these scenarios.
Oh yeah, you know what? That was in 2015.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that
Royals. The Royals, they
you know what's so
played
crazy?
the Mets in the World Series. Yep.
Yeah, you know what's crazy because that was like a team that popped out. It was like, yo, the Royals are good.
Yeah.
You know, and it was like a flash. They was good, and then they got bad real fast.
Then they got bad real quick.
Real good. They got good fast, and then they got bad real fast. It was like, and then it makes
like the Diamondbacks.
And then you think, wait a minute. You're like, damn.
I'm sorry.
Like
Send your emails over there.
Send
your emails over there. I got no time for it.
When that's why it threw me off. I'm like, damn, when was the Royals good? Like it was so fast.
Yeah.
So yeah, it would be good to see, the Royals take the division. But I would like to, I don't know, maybe see, like I said, see a dog fight. See if it could be like a 3-team race,
Mm-hmm.
and having that extra wild card spot. See, you old head baseball purists, you guys love it now. Y'all love the new changes. Y'all have accepted it, and that extra wild card spot has made it, to me, more competitive because now you have more teams that are better. Now we can see, if that team in that third spot on that last weekend of baseball or those last 6 games when it's probably against another divisional foe, if you guys can take that, you can just leapfrog them third to first and take the division.
That's called testing your gangster.
Exactly. We have seen plenty of teams be in first place the whole season, and then comes those last 9 to 6 games from first to worst.
Kaputs. Listen, to me, I'm not going to be on the LeBron James thing where I say, well, he says, I'd rather, have it and not need it than need it and not have it in regards to a wild card or a play-in scenario. You know what I mean? But it just makes it more exciting. It gives you something to play for. Now you don't have to worry about, wrapping the season up in the beginning of September. Now you can play September out and see what happens. And again, old head baseball purists. Okay, I'm going to write that down. Is that old? Is that old with OLDE as an old English? You know what I mean?
As an old E.
As an old E. I think that when we first talked about the wild card, it was like now baseball is becoming football. You know what I mean? And we were as purists, as a purist that I am, I'm going to wear that title and wear it proudly, right? You win the division, you make the playoffs. That's it. Why, if you were second and third place, do you deserve a playoff spot? Get out of here. But once the Yankees needed the wild,
Yeah, yeah. Once the Yankees
once
needed a
the
wild
Yankees
card
needed the
spot, you
wild
was
card spot,
loving that
like,
extra
yo,
wild card
man,
spot.
listen, the
You was
division's
like,
out of reach.
I
Yeah,
will be the
let's get
seventh
this wild
seed.
card and see what happens. Absolutely. Absolutely.
You was very proud to be
I
that
was very
seventh
proud,
seed.
right? The wild card champions. That's right. Absolutely.
You
I'm
was
in the
happy.
building. Word is
Yes.
bond. Listen, down in Sports Talk, we're in the building. We're about to get down on it as we do every week as we close out the show. Yada Bear, what are we getting down on this week?
Well, I'm gonna get down on the WNBA.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna get down on the race for Rookie of the Year. You know,
Okay.
it should be a very close race. With we know that the name that's going to be on top of everybody's list is going to be Caitlin Clark. But truthfully, the name that really should be on top of the list is Angel Reese. Angel Reese has been averaging a double-double for the past couple of games. She has the most offensive rebounds in the league. We're talking about a league that had the like.
Willie Mays died.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
Okay. Yeah, Willie Mays died, yo. All right.
Wow. 93 years old.
Yeah.
Oh, well, we're going to have to talk about Willie.
Yeah. Finish your thought, and then we'll get into that. Finish your thought.
Ah, man, that's crazy. But yeah, I'm thinking, Angel Reese should definitely be on the top. She leads all rookies with double doubles. She leads the league in offensive rebounds. She leads all rookies with rebounds. Second name, Cameron Brink. She's been balling like crazy. She had an injury the other day. They didn't really say what it is yet. We're still waiting to hear. Hopefully, it's nothing too bad. She had to get helped off the court, but she was able to put a little bit of weight on the leg. I also think that we should definitely take a look at Lakia Jackson, um, Kate Martin up in Vegas. She's getting valuable minutes and she's showing out, on the court. So I think we should not just again keep focused on one player when it comes to the Rookie of the Year award.
Right.
I think
Absolutely.
this race should be tighter, a lot closer, and there's no front runner for me, none at all. What you gonna get down on?
Wow, yo, I'm bugging right now. I'm gonna get down on Willie Mays.
Yeah.
When we talk about Willie Mays, he was one of those players like Browski, like you're a little bit younger than me, right? And so when you talk about players that you catch at the tail end of their careers, right? And I get the very tail end of their career. And you hear about their greatness, how great they were and what they did and things of that nature, right? I used to hear all the time Willie Mays used to play for the Mets.
Yeah.
Right? This was later on in his career, like, you know what I mean? And how revered he was as a ball player. And when you watch that, because I never really actually saw him play. He was at the tail end of his career when he was at the Mets, when he was older. I remember that I was little, you know what I mean? But yeah, yo, that's really, really a big loss. I mean, 93, he lived a great life. I hope that they do something. You know what I mean? That's Barry Bonds. Was that Barry Bonds' godfather, Willie Mays?
Yeah.
Yeah. So respect to Barry Bonds and all of that. But he was definitely a great a baseball player, ambassador for the game. I remember they played the Oakland A's in what was it, 73, the World Series. It was the A's and the Mets, and it was a play at the plate. And I think Willie Mays was either the on deck batter or he was the batter in the box at the time. And the play at the plate, I think he called him out, and Willie Mays is on his knees and he's like begging and pleading with the umpire, like, yo, what is it? But great example of how to do your thing. how to persevere. Is going to be the talk. It should be anyway. You know, a lot of baseball people are going to talk and have their memories about Willie Mays and stuff like that. But I just wanted to add on. You know what I mean? He passed away. One of the greatest baseball players in history. Period.
But yeah, I mean,
Period.
12 gold gloves. Okay. Number 6 of all-time home runs with 660 home runs. 7th in runs scored. 2068. 12th in RBIs. 1909. 13th in hits. He got 3,200 hits. I mean, his stats alone, you know, don't tell the whole story. You know,
Right.
A lot of his greatest years was in the Negro League. You know, which we never really saw. We never, you know, with those are there's no tapes of that for real. You know, and the stats that I just read off was just his career, as we know, in the major leagues. So just imagine what those stats would have been if
he'd be higher on those lists, right?
Yeah, if he would have started his career in the major leagues and didn't have several years in the Negro Leagues, you know, or you know, once they bring, you know, those stats over, it could change. But
well, it's going to change.
It definitely should change. So you know, a lot of our you know, heroes of today who are playing baseball, you know, they look up to guys like Willie Mays. They say great guy on and off the field, and he lived a very long life, 93.
Yep.
You know,
93. Can't be mad at that.
He's seen not only baseball change, but the world change.
Absolutely.
And definitely, you know, condolences to his family, his loved ones, and condolences to baseball, because this is a baseball legend, a baseball hero. Yeah, it's sad to see, you know, one of the legends go, but just to know that he lived a very long life and we can still live through his greatness with his numbers and with
that's true, yo.
And with them bringing in the Negro League stats, finally, you know, to Major League Baseball, he could get more praise and, you know, put more respect on his name for what he did in the Negro Leagues, plus in the major leagues.
Absolutely.
So, salute.
Yo, down in Sports Talk, man, Tuesday, we about to shut it down. Hope everybody enjoys their Juneteenth holiday and celebrate the reason. You know what I mean? Some people just gonna take it as a day off or whatever. But you know, think about some things. You know what I mean? And we're gonna leave it at that. Don't go nowhere, Brosky. We're gonna leave it at that, man. Down in Sports Talk, man. Another Tuesday night down. Yankees are in the building. You already know what it is. We don't really care about the Phillies. I'm sorry.
Kyle Schwarber just hit another home
show was
run.
over. I'm sorry.
You know,
I thought the show was over. I'm sorry.
It's June. Kyle just hit he's hit another home run.
I thought the show was over. My bad.
So let's go, Phillies. Peace.
Hey, yo, man. Down to Sports Talk. We'll talk to y'all next week. Peace. Rest in peace, Willie Mays, yo. Word.
Yes. Rest in peace.
Oh, man.